So I'm just about to jump onto a call with Veronika, one of our clients. She is a positioning coach based in Belgium, and she joined us around about 8 months ago. So she's been through the main, or let's say the first phase of our program she's been through. She decided with the results and the support she's had, she wanted to renew and stay with us a little bit longer, hence why she's been with us for 8 months now. So when she joined us originally, she wasn't positioned as a positioning coach herself to begin with. She was a freelancer. She was wearing a lot of different hats. She was working with different clients, different people, doing different offers, different services, and she was really struggling with a lack of a little bit of a lack of clarity on kind of what to do next. But more importantly, she was just doing too much. She was doing too much, trying to serve too many people, too many offers at the same time, and that ultimately is what was holding her back and stopping her from being able to grow and scale her business. And part of her role in helping her clients was helping them to grow their business and to be able to expand their ideas and their business. And she wanted that for herself. And so she joined our program, and we helped her to really narrow down and refine her one main higher ticket offer. She now has a one main offer that she sells around positioning. So she's helping her clients with that aspect of things. She goes into detail about what that offer is and how it works in the video, if you're curious to hear a bit more about exactly how it works and what she does. But ultimately, the main things we helped with were the offer. It was the marketing, the system of generating leads, knowing what to do, what to say, how to get more clients. And ultimately, we helped her to go from earning anywhere from say 6,000, maybe 8,000 euros per month. She's now doing that or more every month. But more importantly, she also had, I believe, I just double checked the message she sent, she had made 16,000 euros in 1 week, following the systems and the strategies we teach. So she's had some really, really great progress. She's been always growing her business, and now has a very predictable system and confidence, in her own words, of knowing how to get clients and grow her business. And so, again, without any further ado, here is the interview with Veronika and her telling us about her time inside of our program, High Value Consulting. But yeah, in your own words, just let everyone know who you are, what it is you do, who you help, and anything else you might want to say.
Okay, cool. I'm Veronika, and I've positioned myself in a better way since I've joined the program. So I went from like freelance marketer doing everything and anything for like everybody. I narrowed down to and so now I call myself a positioning coach. Mm-hmm. So I help service-based companies, service-based solopreneurs actually to find their spot in the market. I teach them how to be a dime a dozen. And that's basically what I do. And at the beginning, I did that. I did that with more like the way towards that destination wasn't very, very clear. I just winged it and coached them throughout. And along the way, we found like the important building blocks, and there are 3 of them. And that's like, we look at the market that you're in, we look at your brand, and in Dutch it's also an M. So we look at the brand, we look at the market, and we look at the message that you're bringing out. And those 3 building blocks make like one stand out from the crowd.
Yes. Yeah. Amazing. And what would you say then in terms of, because you said when you first joined us, you was kind of doing a bit of everything for everyone, right? So over time, you sort of narrowed down your offer to that amazing offer you just explained there. So that's kind of what you're doing right now. What would you say then with the offer has been like the fundamental change with it? Is it just been a case of just changing the niche? Has it been changing how you actually sell the offer, how you deliver it? What's been like the biggest change or changes that you've made with that offer that's enabled you to then have success with it as you have so far?
Yeah, I think when I first started the program, I was still freelancing. Like I was being paid an hour, an hour within like a SME I was in, and breaking out from that cycle was maybe the most impactful thing that I did. And by doing that, that was scary at first, by dropping that last client that was responsible for most of my cash flow, was a bit like my cash cow actually. But letting go of that made me forced me into like following up to your advice, not and going to that one offer perspective, and not having a shelf with like 1,000 products in all aspects of marketing that I can do all at once for everybody, because I didn't believe that pitch myself either. So like, how so you're good at everything? That's impossible, actually. So with that came also the confidence of what do I like the most. But what I also thought was important, and I feel like all the other coaches more focus on what do you like, what gives oxygen, like who you are, what's important with your mission, and you don't talk about like mission, or you focus on what results have you already established with your clients, and focusing on that one made me think about that offer in a whole different way, not about from the heart and the purpose and all that fluff. No, it was the other way around. Like, who is actually benefiting from what you're doing right now? And that was a very impactful thing to do, amongst other things. But that was important.
Yes, no, for sure. And I think this it's a good point you bring up, because it's not just about, like you said, it's not just about doing what you want to do for yourself. It's also, like you said, identifying what you're good at, what you actually have got results for people for in the past, what people see you as, how do they see you, in what level, or what authority they see you, and really building an offer around that. Because you can only sell based on where you're at right now, so it's like that's sort of the idea behind it. And of course, eventually, as you grow, as you scale, as you get new skills and new things, you can start to build new offers around more of your passion or other things. But only as you build the authority in that passion can you start selling high ticket, then around that. So it's a good point you bring up, actually. I like you brought that up, because it's a very, very important point, I think, with that. What would you say then, going to one main offer instead of having multiple? There's obviously a lot of benefits to doing it. For yourself, you mentioned obviously confidence being one of them, but what would you say have been like the other benefits of just having sort of like one main high ticket offer that you're selling for your business?
You get to learn from that success journey that you experience over and over again with the client, what builds confidence about, I actually can transform a person or a business, and I can bring them to a certain point, and I can I'm not just pitching, I'm not just selling, I'm not lying to anybody, because I have results that show that I can do it over and over again. And I come from a world of academia. So actually for a researcher or for somebody in academia, it's very important to, if you replicate the test and you do it again and again, it just justifies the test. And it get faster peer reviews and all that jazz. So that point of I can do it again and again, and I can do it faster, that gave me the oxygen to also have like to have like more options, like, okay, how can I do it better next time? And since this cycle of clients was like, I was getting faster in selling it, I was getting better in delivering, and replicating that made me feel good about myself, and made me feel good for them because I could deliver. And that also resonated with them, because they feel like, oh, I'm getting value from this. So it's actually fun to be selling now. No, I get it. Again, it's a really good point, is that when you just focus on one, you get better at it. You get better results for clients, you get better results for yourself. You can sell better, you get more confident with it. And it's just everything becomes much clearer. I think, you have a lot more clarity with every part of your business if you just have that one offer to begin with. And I think it's important to highlight, it's not a case of you have to do one offer forever, so you can obviously have a new offer at some point in the future. It's just one offer at a time. So master the first offer first, and then you can diversify at some point in the future.
And I think you're getting close to that point where a second offer could become useful. I'd even say you're still a few months away. You're closer, but you still probably want to do a few more months of your current offer before you even think about diversifying too much, to a different audience or niche demographic or whatever.
I feel that already is like kind of manifesting in a way that I, for example, got on a call with more like a tech SME, not a solopreneur, but more like an SME that contacted me because they like the offer. So now but at first I'm going to test, like use that client, if I can close them, to use them more like a test case. Like I know that at 80% I can replicate the results all over again with that niche. Can I also apply the trifecta of my market, brand, and message thing? Can I do it for like companies that are bigger? But I still have like the runway. It's 80-20. It's like 80% do the thing over again, and 20% that is like a bit playing and like discovering, like, okay, who else can I please with this with this thing?
Yeah. 100%. I think that's the best way. 80-20 always works quite well as a rule. So I think that's always a good way to do it. So I agree with that 100%. But yeah, cool. If you were to give, say, like a piece of like advice, let's say to Veronika from 6 months ago, right? What would be your advice just for that version of you 6 months ago? Just one piece of advice. Doesn't matter what it is, can be about anything. But what would you think Veronika needed to hear 6 months ago and that you've learnt over the past 6 months?
I think that I would not give her any advice. And just being smart now, like I wouldn't give her any advice because she had to experience it all, and she had to be the crybaby, and she had to be at some times frustrated and like, where the fuck are the leads? And can you please help me? And I'm desperate. She needed to experience it all to like really feel what her client is also experiencing by not doing the things that need to be done. But on the other hand, it's definitely focused, and it's also a book from a Dutch writer that actually says that if you don't focus, if you like switch tasking, there is a part of your brain that really sticks into the previous task. And therefore you cannot give all you have into the next task. So your attention is divided. And that's exactly what I really would like to emphasize on. Would like to emphasize because I got into the seduction of doing multiple offers and maybe pleasing a client here and there, and it hurt me every time. I lost either money or time, or I lost something each time that I didn't respect that focus rule. So that's something that I really would be strict about to the past Veronika, and will be continuing being strict about to future Veronikas. The other thing that is maybe also super interesting is in order, and it's again related to the focus thing, like in order to really understand what's working and what's not, you need to isolate the actions you're doing, so you can measure their impact and measure their efforts. And it's a combination of the two that will guide you towards like, okay, am I ditching this strategy or am I keeping it? But if you're doing all the things all at the same time, you cannot isolate that. And I'm thankful to the program because you kind of did that for us. You isolate, you're teaching us, your program is teaching us what is impactful and what kind of effort, but the effort thing we need to discover by ourselves while doing it. But we cannot judge whether it's working or it's not working unless we're doing it in isolation and actually the way you really programmed us to do those things.
Yes.
And that I really appreciate on the program, because it's not that you're sharing concepts all the time. No, it's like, do this exactly in this way, and measure the efforts, the effort, measure the impact afterwards.
Yes, 100%. It's a really good insight as well. When I said, you know, what advice would you give Veronika? You said, you know, I wouldn't, you know, I'd say kind of go through it all again. And it's, you know, it's true, you know, and I think that's also my opinion on certain things, is that if I was to kind of go back and start again with my business, with my journey, would I want to do things differently, or would I do things exactly as I've done them? And I probably would do it all exactly the same again, because I am only the person I am now because of my experiences that have led me to this moment, right? So I think there are some lessons which can't be taught, you know, which have to be learned. They have to be experienced. And that's one of them, is that for you, experiencing a slow month of leads, or like, you know, not as many people reaching out, that experience is what actually taught you what you needed to feel and understand your clients will be feeling. And that's what gave you then the insights to then solve that problem, and then solve that problem for your clients, and so on and so forth, right? So I think the experience aspect is also a very important point that you mentioned there, which I thought was really, really interesting. With that then, is there anything in particular, because as you kind of said, going through this program with us, you know, not every month has been amazing. Not every month has been, you know, as good as it can be. And that's natural with any business. So what do you think then for yourself has been, you know, the fundamental reason you have had success? You know, so when it was hard, when it was tough, why do you think you was able to turn it around, I don't know, implement what we teach, and then have the success? What would you say is that reason you've been able to achieve that?
Can I bring it down to, because it's actually a good insight to have, because that's a tool that I'm taking into my toolbox. Like, okay, if leads are low, press this button, and that's actually what the program is delivering. So like, if this, then that kind of scenario, and that I like, because you're kind of analytical as well, so you don't preach concepts all the time from the books that we all read as well, but you implement them into, like, where somewhere do you have to rely on that knowledge? So you structure the knowledge in a way so I can get that analytical part into it. So if this, then that. So if leads are low, have you considered a lead magnet? And there is that consistency is something that I've that I really like, is the biggest takeaway, I think, that is making me successful in the program, or at least giving me the confidence that I can be successful if I follow that algorithm in a way, or like follow the track of the if that. But of course, it's not like the secret formula or nothing. No, but have you checked the things that you need to do before you go running around panicking, changing changing your whole like life views and the course of your business, like doing a 180 on everything, because then you cannot track so that if this, then that. If this, then it might be that. It's something that gives me, it gives me like the confidence and the oxygen. Like, okay, do not panic, stay calm, follow, do this, make a lead magnet, check your hooks, those things actually.
And I think it's you know, business is simple, you know, getting clients is simple. You know, when you really just sort of like get down to the basics, it is just simply checking, you know, are you using the right hooks? Are you actually reaching out to people? What are you saying? Are you offering to jump on a call? Are you not offering to jump on a call? Like, it's sometimes the simple answer is the best answer and is the most powerful one. And so I think that is it's quite a good way to sum up what we do, is that it's just about sometimes a simple answer is the answer you need. It doesn't need to be complex. It can just be a very simple response, a very simple action that gets you a return or gets you an outcome. And it doesn't have to be this crazy new hack, new strategy, whatever. It just has to be something very simple that is proven to work, but it's knowing what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and the order to do things in. That's like fundamental, which is kind of what you're saying. Is, if this is wrong, then test this. It might be that, and perhaps that's the answer. If not, go and test this. If not, go and test this. And eventually, just by a process of elimination, you get to your answer, and then you find a bottleneck, you find a problem, you solve it, you move on to the next problem, and just keep repeating that process, and eventually you have that outcome. So that's really, really interesting. One more quick question, just before we finish then, just in terms of when you did join us, which was, I know it was over 6 months, probably about 8 months now, I think, ago, when you did originally join us. Why did you? Why did you invest in yourself? It's always a different reason for everyone. So what was your reason for investing in yourself at that particular time for your business?
Well, because I didn't like as I mentioned, I felt like I don't want. I come from a place where I started like an agency, so I had two co-founders, and we were building a team already. Yeah. And then like shit hit the fan, financial things. Co-founders did something else. We had to lay off our team members. So and then I got into a safe space of freelancing, but I felt like I want to break out from that format. I want to feel like I'm an entrepreneur. I want to build something, and freelancing or consultancy based is not something that I was feeling like, okay, I'm hired to make that other company great, but I want to make my business great or greater. Yeah. I want to grow that. I don't want to grow somebody else's business. Yeah. I want to grow mine. So that was, I felt a bit stuck into that 10K coming from a consultancy based thing where I had to be in meetings at 9:30 that I didn't give a flying F about. So I wanted to, I want to go back to a place where I wanted to be an entrepreneur again, for that entrepreneurial skill that you're crafting, that learning, that growth thing. And I thought the program was fresh for many reasons. One of them was that I got into your funnel in a way that is not like this huge launch thing. It was quite spontaneous. I felt seen. I felt like you really respected me as an entrepreneur at a certain point, and not. It didn't matter that I had 200 followers at that point, and you had 200,000 followers at that point. That didn't matter in a way. I felt seen because of the direct approach that you took into really connecting with me. And I thought that was fresh. Because I've embarked on online programs before, where I totally didn't have that feeling, where I felt seen and understood. And with you guys, I feel like, you get everybody on the team knows my case, knows where I started, knows where I'm going. We share, because we see each other, or we hear from each other on quite a different, quite on a regular basis. From whereas other programs are more like, you get one WhatsApp chat a month with that guru, and I'm like, who do you think you are? Elon Musk or what? So you're very approachable in many ways. You maybe it's because I am special, that also can be true, but I feel like everybody on the program can relate to that. You're always, you and the other coaches are always there. It's not the guru kind of thing, since since from where I standing, you have all the you have all the you check all the boxes of actually being a guru in a way, but you're not. Everybody's equal on the program, and that is fresh.
Yeah.
And the fact that I can share, like, you're one Slack away, and that's, I know now, because at first, of course, when I started, I didn't know that, but somehow the way that I was approached predicted that approachability, that direct approach, that feeling seen, and feeling that you really like understood my case. The discovery call we had back then, 8 months ago, and that never changed. Actually.
Cool. Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, that's all I can say. Yeah, it is. Thank you. It's amazing to hear that. Because I have these conversations a lot, but it's always good to hear not just that, you give good strategies, you help me make money. It's also good to hear the more personal side of, no, you made me feel seen. You made me feel like, you understood me, you're checking in. It's good to hear the team are doing what they should be doing. That's all really good feedback to have. So I appreciate you saying that, because it's really, good for me to hear that as well. It makes me feel good at the same time, which is obviously also a good thing. So that's brilliant. But cool. All right. Well, look, let's wrap up again. I don't take too much of your time. So let's finish. Just so people know then where to find you. Where's the best place to reach out? Just obviously I'll put the details below as well, but just so people know, where's the best place to reach you, to message you, and have a conversation.
That would be Instagram, and via Instagram, you could just type in colonel_Castor. That's a whole big story, but since branding is not the first thing you should establish, is the story for another time. But Colonel Castor, all with the K. Yes.
Yeah, perfect. Cool. All right. Like I said, I'll put all the details below in the description. So anyone wants to reach out, obviously they can. But otherwise, thank you very much for your time, both obviously here and in the program. And looking forward to seeing what else you do in the future and all the progress you make. So thank you.